Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where we're giving you free swim workouts and tips on how to swim better from two professional triathletes, two guys that love swimming, and yeah, we've got a cool set sent to us from a fan on Instagram, and we're gonna walk through it. But Greg, first off, how you doing, man? You're looking good.
Dude, it's supposed to be spring here in New York, and it was 48 and raining this morning, and I
What?
had to wear tights, and I was like, it really upset me, honestly. But yeah, I'm doing good. The actually Memorial Day is coming up, so we get outdoor pools
Oh,
in
nice.
about a week's time. It's that Memorial to Labor Day, so I'm looking forward to getting that Ventura sun like Nate always has
Yeah, yeah,
when he rubs it in my face. But we can't see his background today, but we like his like
yeah.
cool
No pool today.
ukulele in the background. But I'm good, man. Though, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I just got back from Mexico. Had a short course race out there. Went pretty well. Got some points. Moved up the world ranking just on that short course grind. But the water was nice, man. It was warm. It was probably like 80 degrees, and there's a little bit of surf on the beach too. So we got to body surf a little in the course recce, which was nice. Did not catch a wave during the race though, but you know, it is what it is. It happens.
Did anyone like pass you going into the water or coming into the shore, like who caught a wave and you didn't, or anything like
Uh,
that, or just
I think there was a small. It was like close to the shore, where it was breaking. I think maybe some of the guys at the front caught a little bit
mm,
of a wave, and there just wasn't one for where I was. But I had a great start, which was awesome. Like everyone dove way too early, and I just like
mm.
friggin' ran in there, and it was super fun. But yeah,
Yeah, you got long legs. The only time I've ever been beaten out of the water was by Jamie Riddle,
yeah,
and it just is based on his ocean skills. Like he crushed us on the run in, and then the way out, like he was leading, but then I just missed the wave, but since he had like 4 feet or 5 feet on me, he
yeah,
caught the wave and he ended up beating me out of the water for like 10 seconds. And I was like, shit.
yeah, dude, that
But yeah,
guy can swim in the ocean for sure.
yeah. And the Australians, South Africans, like those people in that part of the world, they just excel in those conditions.
Yeah, for sure. And they have to like fight sharks too, so you don't
Yeah.
want to cross them in the swim. But yeah, man. So, dude, what swim knowledge do you want to depart
Oh
on
yeah.
us?
Okay, so quick tip of the week is get some film of yourself swimming, and if you're working on something or whatnot, watch it back with the coach or whatever, or just yourself, because you probably don't look how you think you do.
Mm,
And, get some underwater footage and side footage and, slow it down and look at it and think about what is making you fast and what might making you slow and, have a game plan of attack to improve your technique because you always in swim coaching, it's like, oh, do this, do that. But sometimes you need to see yourself swimming and then pick a strategy to force you to change. Instead of keeping your head still, put a paddle on your head and make sure your head's still, right? Or because the paddle falls off, then it won't be still. So film yourself, come up with a game plan of attack, and yeah, try to improve your technique because in the end, I think triathletes at our whole are like I feel like they're just bad at swimming compared to biking and running. Like the
mm.
reality is the level of swimming in triathlon is so much lower than the level of bike and run, even amongst the professionals. So there's a big disconnect there in efficiency and technique.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I was coaching my wife a little bit. We did a little swim session, and she was like crossing her arm over a ton when she was swimming. So I told her to pretend like she was doing a Y, like the YMCA song, when she put her hands in, and then it was a lot more in line with her shoulder. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I like felt like I was way out here, like super far." But yeah, it's your mind's eye. That's what I always say. Your mind's eye lies to you sometimes. So
Well, and that's
yeah.
the thing about swimming. You have to like drill the extremes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I want you to enter super far wide and I want you to cross over. And somewhere in the middle, they have to figure it out. But it's like you said, if someone's crossing in front of their head, it will feel very, very wide for a normal pull. And to get actually wide, she would literally think she was swimming with her arms straight out, like in a T position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like a Y, and a Y would be normal, and normal is crossing over. So it's like your
Yeah.
mind doesn't really work how you think it is, and especially in swimming, like because you can get away with that. If you're like running, you can't like cross your legs over. It just there's impact. Like it just doesn't work that way. But in swimming, you can get really like out of whack too. So good coaching on your part, Nate.
Yeah. No, so it was good. Um, but yeah, get some video of yourself. That's a great tip. And yeah, so today's set, someone sent it in to us on Instagram. This is from Parker Kurth. He's a Ironman athlete. He has a sub 9 Ironman time, which is pretty fast, you know. And he sent us this workout that he enjoys doing, and it's got some interesting stuff in it. So we're gonna break it down for you guys, and maybe we're gonna change some things to stuff that we have found works, or maybe we'll keep it the same. Time will tell. And yeah, it's 1200 warm up, and he does it as 3 times 350 swim and 50 kick. And he's doing this with fins on. So diving into the pool with fins. How are you feeling about that, Greg?
I don't like it, but apparently people do, so I try not to judge them for it. I mean, I know some great, we talked about it before, the Australians love to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of less gear in general for everyone. So, if you're doing, I go through this set, and it seems like majority of the swimming is done with gear, and I don't love that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's my initial takeaway. But I like the 350 swim with a 50 kick, like that good warm, mixed up, as we say. Do a little back, do a little whatever, and don't rush through it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, sounds good. And then 400 kick with fins. Now 400 kick, even for me, that's like a long time to be kicking, just straight up. And I definitely feel like if you're kicking for that long and you're not used to it, you could just like deteriorate the proper technique for kicking. Because yeah, kicking for swim is you have to get the power on the up part of your kick and the down. So it's really hard to do, and the longer duration you swim without proper strength for those distances, you're just going to deteriorate your form. So
and we don't know exactly what kick he was doing, but like you got to switch it up, like 100 kick on your back, 50 side kick, all that. Like you need to switch up your kicks, because kicking like on your stomach and sometimes just with the board, it's like the board can get your body out of alignment sometimes. You have to, and if you're on your back kicking, you can really focus on like the up kick / it's down kick because you're on your back, but like using your hamstrings a bit more, because it's just easier to do, because you can't kick up as much because your leg will come out of the water. So switching it up is a good way to, like, as Nate said, kick up and down, like feel water on both sides of your feet and kind of keep that kicking technique. And also, if you're used to fins, that's good. But if you're not used to fins, like doing 1600 if I did 1600 of fin work, like my ankle tendons would probably be a bit weird, especially because I have those fins, and like when I put on fins, I go hard. So I mean, like you use the fins adequately. So just be careful if you're not new to fins and you want to work them in. Just small doses and increase over time, like any new stimulus.
Yeah, for sure. And then after that 400, there's another 400 done as 2 times 25 kick, and then 50 swim as 25 fist drill, 25 swim. Yeah, that's I'm assuming with fins on still, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're off.
Maybe they're off, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like fist drill.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea behind fist drill is you can pull more water with your arm and your forearm, right? So then taking away the hand, people can get a little hyper focused on the hand. And the reality is you're going to move more water with your whole arm than you are with just your hand. So when you take that away, and I like how it's a 25 of that and then 25 swim, and then 25 that, 25 swim. That's how you should do drills. You do a bit of drill, you reinforce it with the swim, and try to feel that catch a little bit better.
Yeah. So yeah, for that 400, I think we should break it up as 4 times 1, and then do like 1 kick on your back, maybe 1 on left side, 1 on right side, and then 1 with the board. Maybe
that sounds good. Yeah, no, that sounds perfect actually.
Yeah, and then you can rest a little in between, and like refocus on it. And yeah, and try and keep your head in line too when you're like kicking on the side too, because sometimes people do weird stuff with their head when they're on their side. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah, you have to keep your eyes down.
Yeah.
When you take a breath, go to the side, but don't kick on your side and have your head looking.
Yeah, looking to the side the whole time.
Pool.
Oh, look at all those other people swimming. Just stare at that black line when you're not breathing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And like we said, drill the extremes a bit. So it's like side kicking, you're all the way on your side. Now, when we swim, we don't quite get there, but it's important to have balance in that position too.
Yeah.
just to help your balance when you're rotating in your swim. If you can balance on your side and do side kick, like you're gonna have a better time when you're swimming as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, when I do sidekick, also like keep one arm out in front of you. I always recommend that. Like Greg says, that's your anchor, keeps you nice and steady. I've been thinking about that more actually when I swim.
Hmm.
Having that hand out in front as the anchor and just to stabilize you and keep your body nice and high. Really solid.
Yeah, it's like your arrowhead too, right?
Mm.
I mean, you're going to be more like hydrodynamic, right? You're going to pierce through the water with a smaller point too. So
Hmm.
if you're leading, like, yeah, if there's disconnect between your, your chin and ear with your shoulder, like you're going to have more surface area that's going to create drag. So holding the line, having that arm out at that first point is, yeah, it keeps you tight through the water.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. So you want to walk us through the main set?
Yeah, so it's 5 by 100 swim hard with drag short.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure exactly what type of drag, like maybe it's just a drag suit
Yeah.
essentially. I mean, people wear those for everything. I mean, guys in college, they wear drag suits the whole practice.
Yeah.
On 130 base and then 500 pull with band moderate
Hmm.
and then 50 easy kick. So that's kind of one round. You go through it again, but slightly different. Yeah, so I mean, the drag short, based on his times, he said he went 114, 113, and the next round he went 113, 112. So I don't think it's not really doing anything. I
Hmm.
mean, it's just like a drag suit. Like you either just wear it or
Yeah.
you don't. It's not like a parachute or something that's like really providing much resistance, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been a huge drag suit guy. Um, I've always just swam in a regular suit or something. Like I'll put on a slightly faster suit if I'm like trying to do like really fast stuff for a specific session. But yeah, I haven't really done the drag suit. I feel like it's always like a minority of people. Like there's that one guy in Masters who like always wears the drag suit. It's just because he's got his like high school speedo underneath, and you don't want to just be seen in just the speedo. But I mean, it could be
And like
good.
some Euros too, like
Yeah,
do it. I wore a drag suit for like a year or two in high school at one point.
yeah.
Um,
Do you think it makes a big difference though, or?
yeah, I don't think it matters that much, right? I mean, it
Hmm.
might slow you down slightly, and then you feel better when you take it off. But I was never taking it on and off during practice. You just wear it for practice, and
Yeah.
then when you go to a race or something, and you suit up, you're like, wow, this is fast, dude. So if you're gonna like do resistance, like do resistance, and
Yeah.
then take it off. But yeah. But yeah, I mean the set's fine. But like you said, I mean, I guess drag short's not really equipment per se, but then it's a 500 pull with a band,
Hmm.
which yeah, I think that's a bit overkill with a
Yeah.
band. I mean, that's just too aggressive and it's too long. Like
Hmm.
you're just like trying to kill yourself a little bit, but it's like for what purpose? I mean, I'd much rather you see you do 3 100s with the band, way more focused, reset, make sure your technique's good rather than just like, oh, I'm just gonna crush my arms for the sake of crushing my arms. It's like,
Hmm.
well, what are you looking like from 350 to 500? Because if you're
Yeah.
looking worse than at the start, then it's not doing you justice and it's actually taking away.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of triathletes or people in general swimming have this mindset of like, oh, my arms need to feel tired or else like I didn't get a good workout in. And it's not like biking or running. Like when you put in a hard session on the bike or on the track, like usually like you're feeling it in your legs and stuff. But I've like crushed some awesome workouts before where I'm hitting really good pace and like the time is actually faster where I don't feel like that sore. Because it's about that efficiency, and like that's the thing that's so different about swimming from like the other two is it's so hyper focused on efficiency, which is hard to quantify, I think, so it's harder to understand for people. Um, but I guess it's really as simple as swimming fast for low effort, you know? High effort doesn't mean high efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. I've like never had that. People, I always hear people be like, "I'm gonna swim so hard," like my arms felt like they were falling off. I'm like, I've never had that sensation in my entire life.
Yeah.
That's just not. I just don't think that's like the way to approach it. It just seems like you were just grinding yourself down to grind yourself down, like through kind of a 500 pull with a band is just that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, your efficiency is not going to be high at the end of that. And if you're a professional swimmer and you swim the 10K open water, or you're an Olympian and you swim the
Mm-hmm.
mile, fine. But if you're not, seems a bit much.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you do instead? Just instead of a 500 pull with band, if you want to use the band to keep the workout kind of similar.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 4 rounds of like a 50 and a 25, where you do like a 50 with the band, like moderate, and then you
Mm-hmm.
do a 25 without it, like a little bit faster. So you feel a little speed after you provide that resistance. I think that could be a little bit more like efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that works well. And then you kind of reset with the 50 easy after, and then you end up going through it. Yeah, kind of the same. It looks like, right?
Yeah, yeah. So 4 times 25 with the band.
No, four
Oh,
times a 50 plus a 25.
okay.
So to do the 50 with the band, and then the 25 a bit faster without a band. Or actually,
Okay.
maybe it'd have to be, and then we can maybe go 25 easy. So it'd be a 50 plus two 25s, 50 with the band, 25 fast, 25 easy. Kind of feeling
Mm-hmm.
that speed after you provide the resistance, so we can feel what it's like to go fast after we use that band.
Yeah, that sounds good. Um, yeah, and then you could use a little bit of kick in there and get your body nice and high in the water. Um,
Hmm.
that's sweet. All right, cool. Uh, and then yeah, the second set is 5 times 100, no drag suit, and then it's 5 seconds less rest. And still swimming hard, and then yeah, 500 pull with the band again. So yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes into 500, 100s pull again. So, I mean, the set is 2,500 yards essentially, and 1,500 of it is with paddles.
Mm-hmm.
You used fins for majority of the warm up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, that's just like that's way too much gear. Like you should be
Yeah.
doing at least 75% of your workout without gear,
Mm-hmm.
instead of 75 or 80% with gear. I just don't. That's not the way. Like, no, swimmers don't develop with gear. I mean, maybe a little bit of fins, but like you don't grow up doing any of that. And like Olympians weren't using gear. Gear is used strategically. And when I see this workout, I just think, what is this gear being used for? It's just thrown in there. I don't see any
Mm-hmm.
really specific purpose
Yeah.
for the gear.
And honestly, some of the best sets that we've talked about on the pod from like, I mean, Bob Bowman at University of Texas, they're doing like 6K sets, no gear, or like
Hmm.
that set we got from Matt Hauser's squad in Australia. That was like a killer set, and there was no gear in it at all. I mean, unless
Oh
you
yeah,
where they just
with
dove
the
off the blocks, like if you count the
yeah.
block, but that's not gear.
No, that's not gear. That's speed,
That's just
and that's how
speed.
you
Yeah.
that's how you get strength too, is through speed, not like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, swimming is like a resistance sport, and you can use resistance strategically, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're developing or you're trying to get faster, it's just like very sparingly, like use the gear. And then
Mm-hmm.
and it's like there's so much pull on here. Like I want to switch up the paddles, like holding it upside down, or you're holding it in your hand like a pinch paddle, or in
Mm-hmm.
regular, like, all right, fine, if you're going to do a lot of pulling, change up how you're holding the paddle to maybe like work on that catch and get different sensations. But it's just kind of a grindy long set that I'm not sure is like super beneficial. Besides, like, I mean, yeah, anyone can write a set to get you fit, but can you write a set to improve someone technique and get them fit at the same time? And
Yeah.
I think it's lacking on that department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. So I think if we change this whole main set, I mean, I feel like 3 times like one thing of like 5 100s, and then the 50 with the band, the 225s, and then the 50 kick reset. Maybe like 3 times through of that would be pretty solid. Because like the last part of it is 5 times 100 pull no band on 120, and it's a little bit faster. Um, I mean, I would probably just do those as no pull. Um,
Yeah, like maybe we do the first 2 rounds where you're not really using pulling gear or
Hmm.
something, or like, and then the last round you can.
Yeah.
Something along those lines too. I mean, that's kind of how I like to operate through a set. Like,
Yeah.
get through 75 or 70 to 85% of your main set without gear, and then if you want to put it on at the end to increase your speed slightly when you're fatiguing, I think
Hmm.
that's an effective use. But yeah, it just seems a little like pull heavy on the, and when it's so, when you do so much pulling, you just end up like, yeah, like you said, you're just grinding. Like, I feel like people end up swimming flatter and they're not really like rotating, because you can't like rotate and really find that effective catch because like you're so fatigued. So you're just kind of
Hmm.
spinning, and the stroke length shortens, everything like tightens up, and it's not how, like you said, find that efficiency and that length like to our stroke.
Yeah.
You know, to swimming is about stroke length and stroke rate. And when you
Hmm.
use so much paddles, inevitably both of those will suffer because you just don't have the strength to sustain like a really good catch out front and maintain length. And then if you do, you're slipping through the water a bit, your stroke rate might slow down as you fatigue, and it's just almost like this never ending spiral of like maybe just swimming slightly shittier throughout the whole workout. And
Yeah.
we don't know exactly how it went
Hmm.
for him, but that's kind of how I'd see this workout going for most people.
Hmm. Yeah. And yeah, yeah. We'll make those changes. We'll write it down in the main set. We're gonna think about it a little bit, but put that in the main set for you in the show notes. But yeah, definitely a little less pulling and a little more focused on lengthening that stroke. And another thing I see people do a lot when they use pull gear is they break their wrist on their stroke too, because they have like such a big paddle, and then they like end up breaking their wrist like that, and then you're not getting that forearm part of your catch like
Hmm.
engaged in the stroke. So that's another downside I commonly see with people who they're like, oh, I swim so much faster with paddles than I do without. And it's because when they're swimming without, they still have that break in their wrist, and
Yep.
they're just not getting a solid catch. So that's why we're so like harping on it. If you guys are like, oh man, Greg and Nate hate this set, like, oh, they never pull. Like, we pull, but it also like you have to pull with the same intention as you do when you're swimming without gear. And a lot of people throw the gear on because they don't want to focus on good technique, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, or just like get through the set, or oh, I'm
Yeah.
getting stronger because of this. It's like, well, not
Yeah.
essentially. You don't need gear to get strong, but you have to use it just a little more strategically than they do here.
Yeah, for sure. Um, any closing thoughts on this set or?
No, it says cooldown choice, and yeah, a good 200, 300 cooldown is yeah, if you do a set like this, or a heavy set, and some days you might pull more than others, and that's fine. Make sure you're like doing a little backstroke or something in the warm down, just to kind of open up that front side of your body a bit, because
Hmm.
especially if you're grinding that paddles a bit, it's like everything's going to shorten through the front of their body. Do some backstroke, kind of lengthen up again. Even if you're doing a 50 easy kick or flush between rounds, go on your back or something. Just make sure
Hmm.
you stay loose in the front of your body as you go through this. And if you're doing a set like this and it's feeling awful and you need to reset, that's totally fine.
Hmm.
To do. Like, I'm gonna cut this 500 short. I'm gonna do a 50 backstroke in the middle, and I'm gonna continue the set, just to make sure you're swimming, like you said, reinforcing good behavior and not bad behavior.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, Parker sent us his hot take, which I'm gonna read, and then me and Greg are gonna give our thoughts on it. But he said, if you kick with a brick and swim with a band, that will make you a good triathlon swimmer. And I've never kicked with a brick, and I rarely swim with a band.
Yeah, I don't do either, actually. And I know people who do. I think kicking with the brick can be helpful, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like it's one of those things that kind of just grinds you down a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And same with the band. Like, if you really have like no idea how to like gauge your lats and stuff, that's fine. But if you just do a light 2 beat kick when you're pulling too, just to keep you with balanced and like keep it similar to swimming, I feel like the band can keep you really, like we said, without rotating. You're just
Mm-hmm.
flat. Like, your feet are flat. You're just like spinning your wheels. So you just have to be careful with that type of stuff. And it's like, in the end, strategic fast swimming is going to make you better, not these gears. Like, I swim at the best college in the country, and we never used either one of those things. And I don't think anyone used them developing either. So, there's always these quick fixes or, oh, this is the magic tool you need. It's like, be careful. I don't know if that's quite accurate in a sense.
But yeah. Anyways, Parker, if you're listening to this pod, thank you for sending in the set. I hope you don't feel too bad with our suggestions. They're just suggestions, we're just trying to help. But I do appreciate Parker sending in this set for us, and feel free to send us in sets, DM us on Instagram, and yeah, it's always fun looking at what other people are doing in the training world, and we're all just here trying to help each other get better at swimming. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers.